can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable.
Sí, es que el juego más bien el mismo juego se cerró y pues me cortó la transmisión del directo. Fallas técnicas. Hola Lois, ¿cómo estás? Bienvenido. Igualmente, buen fin de semana. Sí, me lo cerró y pues tuve que iniciar de nuevo. Ahorita lo que quiero es tratar de buscar componentes para bueno, ¿qué pasó ahí? No, ¿por qué? ¿Qué pasó? Ay, no puede ser, no puede ser. Dun, dun, tararara. Como que alguien estaba vomitando por allá. Nada más que lo... Ay. Algunas zonas están bastante graves. ¿Qué pasa? Me llaman, se devolvió mi pollo, parecía Pit. Así sonaban mis tíos en ellos, no lo dudo. Y es que también requiero cosas para aumentar, bueno, en este caso las armas, para que aumente más el daño. Sí, o sea que hay más, más gente. O sea, hay conflicto, pues. Entonces tengo que tener mucho cuidado porque ahorita no tengo mucha sangre. Y también requiero sangre. Bueno, al menos aquí está, creo, estable. A ver, deja ver si es para acá. No, es para el otro lado. Chelines. Parece que si va a ser recto llegas a la puerta donde te indica ahí. Es que como que estoy del otro lado. A ver, espérame. No, es que me estoy yendo por otro lado. Es como para acá. No, sí, tengo que ir para allá. Pero creo que está cerrado.
everyone thinks.
Good evening, sir.
Who the fuck are you? Don't you see I'm busy here?
Dr. Jonathan Reed, that's who I am. And who are you?
Ah, some fancy gentleman we've got here. Clear off. We don't want strangers on our streets.
So you won't tell me your name, then?
The name is Booth Digby. Maybe I'll ask my boys to break one or two of your bones, just so you remember it.
Are you some kind of vigilante patrolling these streets at night?
Something like that, but the police aren't in charge here. We are, see?
So, tell me about your gang, then.
What? Have you got a death wish? You really want me to answer that?
Well, yes. You seem so proud of your status. Why not tell me who you're working for?
Oi! I'm the boss, all right? The wet boot boys work for me. All of them. Situation round here is better than
las
other
botas
districts
mojadas.
because of us. Because of
Tengo
me.
una banda que se llama Las Botas Mojadas. Uy,
So you're a concerned criminal, is that it?
Using funny jokes about me and my boys, are you? Fuck. You must have some balls.
I saw many men like you
Zombie
during the war,
about.
Mr. Digby. Greedy little cockroaches who feed on despair.
I could kill you for saying that. But, nah. You've been a soldier. I can respect that.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
Things ain't that bad, thanks to us. We give people what they need, and we control this borough.
Well, you're not doing a very good job. People are still dying here like everywhere else.
Yeah, well, we can't be everywhere all the time. And Edwina says if we can find more guns, we could be more efficient.
More efficient? Really? You should probably tell Edwina that guns are useless against diseases and infections.
Incredible. You know what? You're lucky she can't hear you right now. She's more smart than patient. My sweet queen of the docks.
Goodbye, Mr. Digby. Good evening, miss. I am Dr. Reed. May I ask you a few questions?
Who are you? What do you want?
As I just told you, I'm a doctor. From the Pembroke Hospital, actually.
The Pembroke Hospital, you
The
say?
hospital.
I don't have any money for you leeches.
I'm not here for charity, Miss...
Miss Edwina Cox. So what do you want then? Fancy buying something from me, maybe?
A ver,
Can I
¿esto qué
see
tiene?
what you have to sell?
As long as you have money, I'll show you all I have.
Y no me alcanza. Está bien caro lo que hace. Y lo que vende, pues.
Pleasure, sir. Been a while since we've seen any new faces round here.
No te preocupes, Quien. A ver. Oh, ya, ¿quién sabe? Ya me elegí.
Listen to what the idiot had to say first.
Ah, no, pero no puedo pasar.
It's locked, all right.
El mapa no te muestra tu camino. No, o sea, yo tengo que Bueno, de hecho es que ya voy bien lejos, pero tengo que buscar. No estoy. Y está grave aquí.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Why must it always be a good evening?
I was just being polite. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you some questions, if I may.
Don't like questions. Or doctors. And the name is Seymour Fishburne, if you must know.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
A shithole filled with maggots. Liars and thieves, all of them.
Are you thinking about someone in particular?
Nope. Hate them all.
No, pues es que
Especially these petty,
cuando es
whining
así,
little
pues tienes
shitbag
que
beggars.
matar a todos los
Is there no one who
enemigos.
deserves your leniency then?
Well,
Y bueno, para
Tom
que te
from our
den una
local is
experiencia,
somewhat of a
pues
decent
tienes
bloke.
que hablar con
at least,
personajes
unlike
y
most
matar
maggots, he
también.
knows how to listen without opening his trap.
What's your occupation?
I take care of my
Tengo
mum,
que hacer
What I do,
investigaciones
She's the
para
only good
ir
thing in life.
descartando todo lo
even though I don't treat her so good.
quienes están
You seem upset.
si
Is
están
something bothering you?
I
confabulados
lost the
con lo
necklace
que
I
les
bought her. I'm a
con lo que le
fucking idiot.
pasó y
A worthless
bueno, sí.
idiot.
Sometimes it's
Ahorita
hard
lo que
being
quiero
good
es
someone.
encontrar
I just wanted to smile.
todo lo que
No, I was thankful for her
necesita
patience,
la pistola
appreciated
para
that.
ver si así puedo
God knows she
matar al
deserves
lobo.
it.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne.
Y ahorita si encuentro cosas para eso estaría.
Times like these, a good drink's just as likely to cause a problem.
Evening, miss.
Well, I never. That's a first. Customers who make that much mess rarely come back. Never mind in fancy togs.
I'm much more myself than when we first met. By the way, I'm Jonathan, Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome back to the Turquoise Turtle then, Doctor. I'm Sabrina Cavendish. How can I help you?
What can you tell me about this area?
People don't appreciate that line of questioning round here. You best be more careful with what you say, sir.
You look concerned, Miss Cavendish.
This is a bad borough. Most people I know are afraid. Most locals will rob you blind, or worse. You best mind your step.
If you're uncertain about your safety here, the docks might not be the right place for you.
I got responsibilities. And it's not like I got the money to move anywhere else anyway.
This place seems, how shall I put it, very colorful. I'm sure it has plenty of stories to tell.
We get people of all sorts here. It's that rare place in the docks where you can have a drink without being murdered. At least it's not happened yet.
So this bar is neutral territory then?
Yeah. Tom's convinced this is something the locals need. No one ever draws a weapon here. That's one of the reasons I accepted the job.
Your boss must be quite the negotiator to force such an agreement.
Yeah. Tom's a great bloke.
Yes.
Mr.
yes,
Hampton,
yes,
who
yes.
runs the night asylum, he's the only other man that's able to keep peace around here.
Excuse my curiosity, but where exactly are you from, Miss Cavendish?
Something bothering you? What, my name? Or my complexion?
Believe me, I never judge someone on their place of birth or the color of their skin.
If that's true, you'd be one of the few not to make fun of me. Just you, Tom, Dyson, Miss Fishburne, and of course Mr. Hampton.
I'm sorry if I worried you. I was just curious to find out if you know this part of town well.
Nosy. My dad was a sailor from Bombay, and my mum was a maid born up in Glasgow. They got married in London, and here I am.
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
Cavendish. Estoy aquí en el segundo piso. Sí, lo que pasa que en cuando vine aquí, eso sí, no revisé muy bien. Por eso es que también ahorita estoy revisando.
You know, it would be nice to see each other outside the pub sometime.
This situation won't last forever. It's locked.
Good evening, sir.
Whatever.
Don't you recognize me? We met a few
Y
nights
bueno,
ago.
el hecho también de hablar con los personajes también te va subiendo de experiencia.
Yes, you had definitely drunk too much then.
Ya
as
sí, yo
well.
ya puedo aumentar
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Dyson
lo
Delaney.
de la
I'll try to
sangre,
remember you.
lo de
This
las
time.
armas.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Delaney?
I drink. I drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night. And then I drink some more.
Don't you work at all?
I'd love to, but I don't have the time. Didn't I tell you? Drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night.
Why do you drink so much?
Maybe it's because I prefer dying slowly. Death can be so abrupt. Personally, I like to see mine coming at my own pace.
You sound very sad, sir.
That's because I am Doc.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly, so joyful.
No reason at all to rejoice, then? Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
All right. Go on.
A few years ago, when I believed a resolute man could change things around here for good, a tragedy occurred nearby.
What kind of tragedy?
It was a bomb. Bomb that exploded and killed many people. Metal and blood everywhere. Shouts, fire, broken window of the shoe shop, the torn street light.
You lost people you loved that day, didn't you?
I've lost everything. But you know what the worst part is? I don't even remember where it happened. I've drunk so much to forget it, and now I can't remember where it was. I can't pay my homage to the dead.
I'm sorry, Mr. Delaney.
It's okay. If you ever find the place, just leave a flower for me there. Even if you tell me where it is. I'm not sure I'd memorize it.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly. So joyful.
No reason at all to rejoice, then? Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
Another time, perhaps. I'm not sure I want to hear another sad story. Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly. So joyful.
Surely you must have had dreams and expectations when you were young, like everybody else.
Sure. I wanted things to change. To really change. And to change for good. The bigger the dream, the harder the fall.
Sí. Sí, de hecho,
Do you really think the world is that bad?
No.
Ya sea que lo sigas, o sea, que lo dejes vivo o que lo mates. Ya depende de ti.
Sounds like you were an idealist, which is honorable.
No, sir. I was an anarchist and
Y
I
ya se va a ir
exclusive property is a robbery
descubriendo
in
parte
nature.
de
I wanted
pues
a
sí,
new
de
world to
la-
rise from the ashes, Dr. Reed.
O sea, aquí mira. Aquí ya se ve
I
una
want to
otra
know
parte.
more about your past as an anarchist, Dyson.
I'm still an anarchist, Doctor. Make no mistake. I just
O sea,
reject
van
violence as a tool
pistas.
to change the world, unlike my comrades.
Do you still see your comrades, then? Even if you don't agree with their methods anymore, I mean.
No. I hope they'll come to share my point of view one day. I'll raise my glass to that splendid idea.
Do you believe in a bloodless revolution, then?
I do not believe in much anymore, Doctor. But I'll admit I like your idea of peaceful change. I like it a lot.
Aquí ya sea que lo mate.
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney.
Aquí ya me... Bueno, esta no, porque esta... mira. Aquí me descartó una... Y ya vas desbloqueando. Digo, ya sea que te lo comas o así.
Are they stupid or something?
Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight? Back to the docks, are we?
You remember me, then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Sí, lo que pasa que haz de cuenta que las armas que tienen aquí,
Welcome back, Doctor.
sí, es un hombre lobo.
Why does your waitress feel in danger working on the docks?
Pero
This part of town is dangerous for all, but for women it's worse, as always.
con la guadaña no le hago tanto daño.
Do you think she has good reason
Entonces
to feel this way?
necesito dinero, necesito ver los componentes que se necesitan para hacerla y así poderlo matar un poco más rápido.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's not that bad, thanks to people like the sad saint of the East End.
Who?
Sean Hampton, our own private holy figure. Few are foolish enough to make peace with the gangs. Sean is one of them.
Hola, Eduardo.
How is it you can keep this place open?
Sí, y entonces ahorita digo lo que trato es de conseguir todo lo que pueda requerir para hacer la pistola y poder matar al lobo.
Nothing that a few wise words and a bottle of gin can't solve.
You're something of a figurehead around
Que
here.
también a otro pues es que me baja mucho la sangre.
Sean Hampton is the one giving
Buenas noches, Eduardo. No, la puedes crear. La puedes crear, nada más que te digo que necesito componentes para poderla hacer. Ahorita te enseño dónde.
With the epidemic, my supplies are running low.
How could a physician help you in this matter?
I have a small warehouse just past the quarantine line. Perhaps, with you being a doctor, you could go there and come back?
Doctors aren't immune to disease, you know. Very well. Show me where it is. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thank you, sir. Here's the key to get in. You're about to save many dry throats.
Me dio una llave del depósito. Ah, no está ya. Ah, todos están.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
Hola, Gel, ¿cómo estás? Bienvenido. Y hablé con esta. Creo que este es aquí.
I cannot enter.
Ah, no, no era esta. Entonces, ¿cuál depósito? Bien, aquí jugando el Vampyr.
I should have offered a drink to the boy. Be he cursed or not, he's just another lost orphan.
¿Cuál será el depósito?
Rumors about Clay are true. Otherwise.
It's locked. Good evening, Mr. Fishburne.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne. Hello, boy.
Hello. Good
No te
evening.
preocupes,
Did I
que no
scare
pasa
you?
nada.
You have nothing to fear from me.
No, it's just that people prefer to avoid me.
Well, I won't. I'm a doctor.
My name is Rufus, sir. Rufus Kingsbury.
Are you alone? Where is your family?
I don't have any. My parents are dead.
So you have no home. You're sleeping rough.
No. I mean, yes. I live on the streets. I have no home.
You should be careful, Rufus. There are things that lurk in the shadows of this city. Things that prey on the lonely and the desperate.
Well, I've known worse. I'm not all alone. I have Mrs. Fishburne. She's been very kind to me.
Why do you think she's so considerate?
I can't say, sir. I guess she's a good soul. Sometimes it's like she replaces the mother I lost, even if we're not related.
Ahí está.
What can you tell me about this region?
It's all about staying out of trouble. But since most people prefer to avoid me, it's pretty easy.
Why do people avoid you?
They call me Rufus the Curse. Around here, I'm a bit of a bad luck charm.
Have you ever thought about leaving?
Where else would I go? At least I know these streets and some people around here. This is my city, for better or worse.
What do you do around here, Rufus?
I listen to the news on the docks, sir. And I smile at those kind enough to spare me a bob.
Do you have a job?
It's hard to work, what with my head and all. Since I was a boy, I've always had trouble remembering what I do and why I do it.
What do people say about this place?
Things have been tense between the wet boot boys and the communists. They both feel they should run the docks.
So long, Rufus. Be careful. Take care.
Ah, caray,
Good
tocó
evening,
la
madam.
puerta.
I'm Dr. Reed. Could I come in?
Why? What do you want?
I work at the Pembroke Hospital. I'm investigating the flu
Que
epidemic in this
gané
area.
el rifle de combate por y se ve un poco
The
roto.
Spanish flu.
Ah,
That's quite
excelente,
liberal
Ken.
of
Muy
you,
bien, muy
Doctor.
bien.
But this is no time to be knocking at people's doors.
I'll leave you then. Good night. It's locked, all right.
Uy, ya te vi en lejos del muelle.
It's locked. This is despicable.
Siento. Un palito de pescar. De modo.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Sangre. ¿Qué tengo que conseguir?
This is not the place for you, sir. No! Boom!
Lo siento, pero no me dejaron alternativa. Yo venía en son de paz.
Leech spotted! Watch out, boys! Murdering bastard!
Ah, caray. Ah, corre, Forrest. Ah, su mecha. Se supone que era un lugar estable. Según
Hypocrites, all of them. Maggots and liars.
Foolish girl and her pretty principles. She's got no idea who she's
Let me
dealing with.
laughing at first, but to think he's a bloody vampire hunter.
no, es que si tengo que pasar por aquí.
It's locked, all right.
Sí, dile que pues que no se preocupe, que igual pues que descanse.
Pleasure, sir.
Igual pues que
Been a while since we've seen
no hay problema, ya saben que aquí siempre serán bienvenidos cuando estén bien. Estén bien recuperados. Es que esto sería como para acá. Sí. Santa Madre de Dios. Ay,
Get away from me, you bastard!
ah, no puede ser, pues si no me hicieron nada. Ah, chido. Hola, Robert, ¿cómo estás? Buenas noches a todos. Buenas noches. Ah, chido. No puede ser. Este juego se llama Vampyr. Vampyr. Es un juego de modo campaña de un solo jugador y pues básicamente es pues este es un vampiro. Ay, no, estoy yéndome al revés. A ver. No, pues este me salió gratis. A ver, es que tengo que ir para acá. Sí, es que tengo que ir por aquí. A fuercitas tengo que ir por aquí. Sí, pues mañana checamos eso, Gel. Sí, nada más que ya tiene rato que salió. Mira, esto está acá, pero... Necesito fuercitas cruzar por donde están esos monos. Pero no tengo ni sangre. Casi creo el juego costaba 600 y cacho. que aquí me agarran. ¡Ah! ¿Cómo? Uy, no. Es que necesito matar. No manches, es que me siguen. No. Pero pues así que no. Pero ahorita no hay ningún juego que yo pueda jugar con... No manches, no tengo...
This is Braille. I need someone who can read this.
Sí, pero pues ahorita no tengo. Ah, bueno, sí, pero Hell no tiene de plantas contra zombies. No, esos me dan mucho miedo. Antes de que... Bueno, estoy jugando, pero... Pues, ahí. Leave device. No creas, también me da miedo. Necesito sangre.
Stupid fucking
Ah, no pues. Sí, pero Gel es de Xbox, no es de Play. Hola, Chomper, ¿cómo estás? Bienvenido. Sí, sí vi el Batman. Bueno, Batman, no sé qué. Pues sí, pero pues te digo que no. Así que lo único que tenemos pues es lo que hay. Necesito... Ah, Chihuahua, ¿cómo le haré aquí, hombre? Es que no puedo pasar ni para otro lado. Provecho, gel. Ya estoy cerca del que tengo que ir también, pero... Ah, ni ratas hay ahora. Para comerme la sangre. Y es que para las armas... Todavía me falta. Ya la puso G, ya puso la programación. Me falta. Y el otro es lo malo, que no puedes hacer nada sin estar en el, o sea, en tu cuarto, pues. Lo que es en tu cuarto y en una mesa de trabajo. Entonces es ahí donde se complica también mucho las cosas. Aquí por decir la sangre, pues es la que necesito. Lo malo que ya hay 3 y luego estos acá. Necesito ver si por aquí encuentro algunas ratas o algo. Que no hay mucho. Creo que aquí sí había ¿Qué pasó, Chomper? No hay audio. ¿Cómo que no hay audio? Hombre, sí estoy... Sí tengo. No manches, ¿en serio? Ay, chompe. No, pues... Así que, pues, mi más sentido pésame y pues... Ya sabes, bueno, yo siempre les he dicho que aquí son bienvenidos cuando puedan y cuando tengan tiempo, pero no te preocupes, o sea, si no puedes venir o así, o sea, no, ya sabes que yo no tengo ningún problema con eso y pues también hay que... No, pues... Sí, pues... Como te digo, no, así que... Pues a lo mejor las palabras que uno diga están de más, ¿verdad? Pero... Pues como te digo, pues aquí siempre... Cualquier cosa, pues aquí estamos. Y pues... Así que es algo muy difícil que no se puede sobrellevar tan rápido y pues simplemente que pues ay Dios, muy difícil, no sé, no creo que no, digo, no hay palabras como para decirte algo aliciente, nada más simplemente que pues siempre, pues aquí estamos, ¿verdad? Para cualquier cosa, aquí siempre vamos a estar y siempre serán bienvenidos. ¿Qué es? Ay, no. Sí, no te preocupes. Dejen ver mi... A ver, dejen ver cómo... Ok, Robert, sí, no te preocupes. Cuídate, Chomper, gracias por pasarte.
Now everything seems under control, more or less.
Don't forget to keep an eye out for this garden. Somethings.
I cannot enter.
Necesito...
I have this
Lo sé,
for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Ahí se me fue el... mira, lo que pasa que él, bueno, este personaje se llama Jonathan. Él lo que le pasó, bueno, en este caso es un científico y doctor. Él al momento de que, bueno, despierta, bueno, que así comienza la historia, despierta, él ya siendo un vampiro. Entonces él, como despierta siendo un vampiro, pues está, bueno, en este caso buscando sangre, ¿no? En ese momento que él está buscando para alimentarse, ve a una persona, pero solamente ve el cuerpo y como tipo el corazón en todo, o sea, toda la figura está en negro y el corazón en rojo. Entonces pues él va y pues la ataca a la persona y pues obviamente la mata. Ya cuando él sacía su sed de sangre, ya pues ya como que ya está más consciente, se da cuenta que la que mató es su hermana. Entonces él pues obviamente pues desesperado, pues no sabe que pues en este caso quién fue la persona que lo convirtió. Él desconoce esa información, puesto que nada más lo único que recuerda es que despertó ya siendo un vampiro. Entonces ya mata a su hermana y posteriormente él lo que hace o lo que trata de buscar son pistas para ver quién fue el que lo convirtió. Conforme va pasando ahorita la trama, va encontrando varias personas, una donde, bueno, le quitan su cartera, todo lo que traía, pero son solamente así como que nada más fragmentos de lo que le pasó y ya solamente él recuerda que iba caminando y pues ya después alguien lo atacó y lo mordió en el cuello y pues ya. Entonces ahorita él está en la búsqueda de saber quién fue que lo transformó, quién fue que lo convirtió en vampiro y así vengar la muerte, o en este caso de su hermana, porque pues obviamente si él no hubiera sido vampiro pues no lo hubiera matado sin querer. Entonces ahorita él aquí de hecho me aparece varias de las investigaciones que ha hecho con las personas. Entonces ahorita bueno, casi algunos que están muertos es porque ya me los comí. Así es en la ciudad de Londres y es en la época donde está una epidemia también. Qué cosa, ¿verdad? Está una epidemia. Entonces pues ahorita está en la ciudad de Londres y ya ahorita pues estamos tratando de hablar con las personas, de ir desentrañando la historia conforme va avanzando. No, creo que no, es como la gripe también, como una gripe. Y pues obviamente ya en su camino pues encuentra varias personas que lo reconocen, saben que es un de hecho su especialidad de él o del doctor es muy reconocido por transfusiones de sangre. Entonces uno de los doctores que lo conoce lo recluta en un hospital para que lo ayude, pero trabajando de noche. Entonces él trabaja de noche y hace sus investigaciones y todo, porque obviamente no puede salir de día. Entonces este doctor le ayuda para que pues él tenga en donde dormir y cosas así. Y ya, y obviamente pues ya al hablar con personajes, ya sea que tú vayas hablando con cada uno de ellos para que se vaya desenvolviendo la historia, o pues puedes comértelos, bueno, quitarles la sangre, ¿verdad? Y ya, nada más que ahorita el detalle es de que yo, ahorita tengo que ir a revisar un cadáver que está en esta parte de aquí, que obviamente es donde está el lobo. Tengo que revisar el cadáver porque según había un soplón dentro del hospital, pero ya está muerto. Entonces, pero está siendo custodiado por un hombre lobo. Entonces ahorita yo lo que trataba de hacer era tratar de subir de nivel tanto las armas que tengo. Ahorita lo único que tengo es la ¿cómo se llama? La guadaña. Que ahorita ya, bueno, da 116 de daño, nada más que bueno, tengo esta arma, pero ahorita voy a ver qué onda. Ahorita voy a tratar de a ver si lo puedo matar. Es que el cadáver está ahí, pero cuando lo quiero examinar, pues no me deja porque tengo que matar a esta cosa.
What sort of creature is this?
Nada más que es un poco torpe los controles. O sea, no es...
Not a lot to check, but I should anyway.
Ay, ya lo maté. ¡Oh, ya lo maté! Uy, sí me sirvió.
Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
Me costó. Me costó un trabajo matar a este. ¿Sabes cuántas veces intenté matarlo? Como unas cuatro veces o 5. En serio, no,
I have this.
Entonces ahorita... Sí me costó trabajito este lobo. El primero fue en la morgue y también me costó trabajo. Un buen de trabajo. Pero sí también. Ahorita de hecho con el recorrido que hice, que recogí varias cosas, me ayudaron para también ir subiendo y mejorando las armas, o sea, todo pues. Entonces, esa es otra de las cosas que, bueno, que tiene que tienes que estar farmeando, que tienes que estar buscando por todos lados para poder conseguir las cosas y así. Pero sí me había costado mucho trabajo el nada más ahora, espérame. Uy, ahora tengo que ir hasta acá. No, es que de hecho así es ¿cómo se llama? O sea, sí está como que un poco tosco, en sí los del juego, pues. Tengo que ir hasta acá. ¡Ah, demonios! ¡Ay, no! Sí, de hecho por eso también me gustó. O sea, bueno, primero vi bueno, la reseña me la dijo mi hermano, me estaba platicando. Pero era más por... Lo que pasa que el otro año yo subí el de viernes 13. Entonces, pues dije, bueno, pues vamos a a subir este contenido de este año, pero para octubre. Pero yo no quería subir de nuevo viernes 13, yo quería otro juego. Entonces casi los modos campaña yo no los he jugado, o sea, es como que no los... Y me gustó la temática, me gustó la historia, me gustó. Y dije, pues vamos a jugarlo. Nada más que yo creo que voy a entrar a mi cuarto a mimir. No, los Assassin's Creed no. Me dieron 800. Igual de hecho con la experiencia. Puedo ir subiendo un poco, pero no me dan mucha experiencia. Nada más que aquí no. O sea, quiero ponerme la
The flower is dying. It needs water.
A ver, se supone que estamos... A ver, tengo que ir hacia acá. No me voy a ir para allá. Me voy a ir por esta parte de acá. Exacto. Voy bien, voy bien. Derechueco.
This is no place for you, sir.
It's locked.
Ah, no, ya me pasé.
This is no place for you, sir.
Ay, se me puede escapar. Y no puedo pasar. No sé si tengo que matarlas primero.
Oh my god!
No, me van a matar. Ah, bueno.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail.
Ah, me lo cambiaron para allá.
First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Okay.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to. There's no one in. I cannot enter.
Okay. haciendo?
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me, just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Tengo que ir por aquí.
It's locked, all right.
Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid. Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Right then. Show me what you have.
Uy, no, tengo 38. No puede comprar mucho.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
Goodbye,
Mucho que preguntarle a este.
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me, since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Ahí está.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious, never goes out, doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He has no relatives at all?
No, except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
That science is unable to explain the facts doesn't mean there is no rational explanation.
I confess, I share your point of view, Doctor.
Estoy comiendo galletas con café.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you.
Sí, aquí están.
But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Vientos, gel, vientos.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Rayos y centellas, Batman.
It's locked.
¿Alguien dijo galletas? Yo que estoy comiendo galletas, pero...
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Sí,
I know
claro.
what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl
Saben
in the
que sí,
street
les
at night.
comparto de mis
It
galletas.
reeks of the penny
De
dreadfuls.
mis galletoskis.
But I mean you no harm, truly. Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute.
En el Discord está la zona
Nurse
de lo
Crane
que
and
dice
Darius
canal
Petrescu.
de zona de antojos. Y después voy a poner la foto de las galletas.
I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it?
¿A quién le gusta el cafetoski?
Very well. Goodbye then.
¿Qué comiste, Gel? Necesito encontrar, dice que debo encontrar el buzón. Y la carta, pero... Pollo rostizado con ¡Ay, no me digas eso! Porque... ¿Dónde estará? No, pero debe estar acá. Es que se supone que está... Acá está.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. It's locked, all right.
Over there!
¡Ah, demonios! ¡Ah! Tengo un buen... A mí me gusta mucho el espagueti, pero me gusta más ¿Cómo lo preparo? Con puré de tomate, salchicha y así. El pollo rostizado, no, hombre, sí está bien bueno. A mí me gusta mucho. Sí, de hecho no está tan difícil la preparación. O sea, pones a cocer el espagueti. Yo creo que voy a dar la vuelta por el otro lado. Vamos a ver si podemos ir por el otro lado. Me va a combinar espagueti de tomate licuado de jamón y de hecho te digo que ese puré, el que yo le he hecho, ya viene ya todo condimentado. O sea, el ajo, la cebolla y todo eso. Ah, demonios, por los dos lados ahí. Y demonio. Cuídate, Quien. Gracias por pasarte. No, ya está hecho. Sí, ese puré ya está hecho. De hecho es de La Costeña. Patrocíname La Costeña. Pero ya ese jitomate, jitomate, cebolla, ajo, o sea, ya viene todo preparado. Entonces, digo, yo pongo a cocer primero el espagueti junto con la salchicha. Ya obviamente le pones, bueno, yo le pongo hojas de laurel y así. Y ya después escurres. Y ya en una cazuela pones mantequilla. Pones mantequilla, echas ya el espagueti junto con la mantequilla y la salchicha. Y ya después le pones el puré que te digo. Igual le puedes poner uno y medio dependiendo. Si lo quieres con mucho, pues ya le puedes poner. Voy a tratar de pasar así sin llamar la atención. Para ir a... Creo que está aquí. Creo que es este.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some
Pues
kind?
de hecho la lasaña ya nada más le agregas la carne molida. Bueno, más bien Pues sí, sí, la carne molida, así como... Pero es básicamente lo mismo, Gel.
I'll be glad to help you if I can.
What can you tell me about an old man called
Pero yo te digo que, bueno, yo me gusta con salchicha porque pues es más rápido. Y la carne molida pues también sí me gusta, pero no tanto. Pero sí sabe rico también.
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Y pues ya le echas el puré y todo.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse.
Y ya después ya lo sirves. Obviamente, bueno, yo lo acompaño con chuleta ahumada. Y ya obviamente con bolillo, con tortilla casi no. Y ya, lo que eso sí le he hecho aparte es salsa habanera porque me gusta lo picante. Y así no hay salsa habanera, pues chiles en vinagre o así, pero prefiero más salsa habanera. Y sabe muy rico. Igual otras personas lo que le echan es aparte del puré, le ponen también capsu, que también puede funcionar y saber un poquito mejor. Pero yo solamente con el puré, ya con el puré que le eches ya. La cápsula como que ya es algo como que adicional, pero... Y pues sabe rico.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu?
No, digo que sabe rico con albóndigas.
Nowhere to be found. And now,
pero pues te digo, es carne molida, es básicamente carne molida. Obviamente pues hecho bolita.
The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor.
Sí, pues digo
and my
que
family
rico.
despises me.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear Doctor.
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir.
Te digo que sabe rico.
Enriches the mystery surrounding the precious camellia.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her.
Del pollo feliz, sí, está bien rico ese. Ese me gusta más que todo. Es que hay unos que los, bueno, son como de los como con leña, y algunos que los hacen con leña y ellos como que no.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercutt.
Pero no, están muy buenos los de pollo feliz.
The place is not beautiful per se, but
hay muchos, pero esos están
Do you not think it a little morbid?
muy
On the
buenos.
contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear
Va a tenerme que comprar un pollo.
wonderful camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much. And that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked
Pues
mystery.
no sé si muera feliz, pero
Exhales kindness and sweetness.
pues espero que sí.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the
Sí, no,
truth
pobrecita.
about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my
Pues muy rico.
flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
No, pues no.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about.
También
and that's what
me gusta
Whitechapel
mucho
is
también
made
la
of.
sopa fría. Hay otra que es carne de puerco en salsa verde.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Chales, ahora tengo que estar acá. Tengo que regresar. Ah, pues sí. Eso sí, muy rico los buenos. Sorry, no les hago caso. Tengo que abrir una casa.
You are blinded by your false faith, imprisoned by your daily routine.
No, creo que tengo que ir para acá.
I prefer not to give you another beating, Baron.
Pues de repente sí hay cosas que sí me dan cuscús, pero me aguanto.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
De repente cuando no veo a los como tipo zombies. Sí, me quedo así como, ay, y me da cosas, pero normal, tranquilo. Es que no está tan fuerte, pues. Pero sí da miedito. O sea, porque hay lugares como que muy tenebrosos y así. Ay, ya me encontré. Tengo que encontrar a Dorothy Crane. Pero de todos modos tengo que... Sí, los pais sí. Junta. Entonces tengo que revisar gavetas y todo.
Razvan, can you hear my voice? I need help.
Y ya la encontré.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Abuela de chocolate.
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
Ay, no,
what can I do, Doctor?
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for
Sin
air
anestesia, sí.
Yes, Doctor.
Que...
He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Don't question me, nurse. I need a drain. Now.
Yes, Doctor.
Se está muriendo. No me interesa. Queremos salvarlo. Ay, ay, ay.
He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
No.
I can't see. I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor.
No, ni sé ni qué estoy poniendo, pero espero que sobreviva.
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Y lo maté.
We did everything we could.
Yes, I know. You are true to your reputation, Dr. Reed. Dedicated and precise. No one could have done more.
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
Cuídate, Alois, gracias por pasarte. Igualmente, cuídate, gracias por pasarte. Mañana a las 11 de la mañana, Fortnite, por
I doubt you're
YouTube.
here to test my bedside manners. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Nurse Crane, there is no question that the work you've done here is extraordinary, but this dispensary is incapable of coping with the outbreak. It's only a question of days before the situation at hand will overwhelm us. I cannot allow it. It's my duty to put an end to this immediately.
Lo siento. No tuve opción.
I'm not ashamed. I did what was right. For in the end, I saved lives and you took them. But we had so much in common, Doctor. Don't you see that?
Lo siento, tenía que acabar con las extorsiones y no era correcto.
I cannot enter.
Sí, lo que pasa que una de las... Bueno, es una acaudalada, pues. Entonces estaba siendo extorsionada por esta enfermera. Y pues le pidió a Jonathan que terminara con... Pues sí. Que terminara con eso, pero... Pues tenía que estarlo investigando todo. Y de hecho fue lo que estábamos haciendo, investigando. Y ya pues investigamos. Y bueno, fue cuando matamos al lobo. Y bueno, en fin, todo eso. Y ya ahorita... Pues ya, acabamos con esto. Y ya ahorita pues hay que regresar con la... Ahorita eso sí tengo que agarrar todo lo que encuentre. Pues tengo que regresar de nuevo aquí al hospital.
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems. As long as you have the money. When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Aquí por aquí. No, pues ahorita creo que ya de nadie.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Kill it, boy!
Ah, no manches. Sí, no.
Watch the leech, boys!
No, suelta que estos no me dejan pasar.
Doesn't like burning, does it?
Sí, no, no puedo. Son tres, malditos.
Take its head!
Y... ah, demonios. Ay, no puede ser. Ay, no. Ay, demonios, ¿por qué? ¿Por qué? Ese gen. Pues si estamos, si estoy jugando, como que si charlamos. Estamos charlando, ¿no?
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Es que cómo le hago aquí.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
A ver, veamos qué podemos... Aquí tenemos que... tratar de hacer... Igual aquí tenemos que incrementar los niveles de sangre. Ya nos pide 2000. Esta es la bronca que nos pide. Nos pide un buen. Tratamientos para el resfriado.
can't believe I'm doing this.
Que son varios. Madre mía. Y ya había matado a dos. Ya había matado a dos porque... Ay. Ah, qué caray, qué caray. No. Pero cómo... Está dormir, pero...
I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Sí, de Drácula sí.
This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Tengo que tener toda la sangre posible vida por haber. Si no, me van a dar picadillo estos.
I have this thirst for blood.
Doesn't like burning. Crush the leech, boys. It's down. Die, burning.
Pude porque pude. La monita esta. Ah, caray. Ah, ok. Ah. Oh.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
What prevails in the end, I wonder? The desire for blood?
Ni modo,
Or
pues.
to be
Al
of
que estaba
service
cuidando
to
ya se lo.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You
Ya
are
le
but
dio
newly
matar y
born in
herir
this
el on.
world.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
The case is closed. Permanently. You will not be bothered anymore by the woman.
And who was this woman?
If you must know, she worked under my employ as Nurse Crane.
No me he fijado. Es que casi no hay espejos. No, no me he fijado.
You killed her. Is that what you consider discretion and diplomacy, Dr. Reed?
I did what I thought was best, and acted accordingly.
You will learn that trust is a rare and precious commodity in the Immortals world, my young doctor. And your actions have not induced me to offer you my support.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London vampire society.
Creo que ni
as long as our
cuarto
kind is discreet,
creo.
and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
And no one suspected you of the murders?
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
Lo siento. ¿Cuántos años tiene?
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
Very well. But I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Scowls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
What type of vampire is a Scowl?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
La progenie.
Things have gone from bad to worse.
Cálmate, Gel.
I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad?
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed.
No digas eso, Gel. Van a pensar que no quieren que estén aquí.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember,
a ver si me da unos otros 5,000 de experiencia.
That sounds like a lesson from
Necesito
experience.
eso.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
No, es que tengo que estar hable y hable con él.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain, more than likely it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
No te
They have seen
preocupes.
better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society. And like all the
De
best
hecho, he subido
ones,
varias
a
cosas
secret
y
society.
estuvo...
I thought them almost gone.
Ha estado
But it
bien.
seems they have been recruiting.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one
Le está
this.
haciendo varias preguntas
unwise to
sobre
talk of such things
si
amongst
ella
British
sabe
immortals.
quién
Speak
fue
no
el
more
que
of your
lo,
maker.
que lo creó.
How
Él
could
está
this cause
explicando los tipos de
Powerful
vampiros
immortals
que
can mentally
existen.
call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy.
Igual ella también
knowing
es
that
un
an
vampiro.
unidentified elder is stalking the streets of
Aunque al
London.
inicio nos hizo
Excuse
creer
my
que no,
forwardness,
que era una persona común y corriente.
Are you
Pero
my
no.
maker?
Oh,
Me?
sorpresa, nos has dado la Biblia.
Goodness, no. Only a foolish
Es una
immortal would
vampira.
create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
Pues he podido
Such a
vencer a
crude
los
word,
enemigos,
defined
pues
by penny
subiendo,
dreadfuls
bueno, en
and
este caso
drunken
haciendo la
hags.
misión,
No.
subo de experiencia y
You are
subo
now
las
an
diferentes
echo,
habilidades
and that you shall remain.
del personaje.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires. But all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
I bid you farewell. For now, my lady.
I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
Tengo que analizar la muestra de sangre que le quité al paciente. Tengo que entrar a mi cuarto. A mi cuarto. Aquí, en mi mesa de trabajo. Aquí está.
Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it.
Tenemos que hablar con el doctor Swansea. Al parecer están utilizando a los vampiros para transmitir bueno, en este caso el virus.
It's locked, all right.
No está del otro lado. Acá está el pinche doctor.
Evening, Edgar. Could I get your
Estaba
professional
oculto.
opinion?
Please speak. But I
Bueno,
have
pues hasta
something
aquí dejamos
important to tell you.
la historia
This
con
strain
el
of flu.
doctor.
It's very different
Y
from the
nos
one I saw
vemos
in Europe.
mañana en Fortnite a las 11 de la mañana de 11 a 2.
Really?
Gracias a todos
What
los que
makes you say
estuvieron,
that?
gracias a Gel, a Hammer, a Lois, a Kim Black,
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recently deceased.
a
I
Romina
see.
también que pasó,
Do you have anything
pues
more
a
to go
todos.
This
Muchas
disease
gracias.
spreads
Cuídense
and
mucho, que
looks like the
descansen
Spanish
y nos
flu,
estamos
but its
viendo
effects differ
mañana.
greatly.
Sí,
The
también
London
dije
strain is
Romina.
different from the
Y pues
continental
espero que
one.
Romina se recupere
Well, this is
pronto.
very interesting. Did
Cuídense
you find
mucho.
something else?
A Lois, Kim Black, Robert, Gel.
I have a few leads, but nothing I
Pues
can
a
share for
todos,
now.
muchas gracias.
I need more
Cuídense
time
mucho.
and more evidence.
Axel también que vino, sí, sí.
I'd be interested to hear your
Cuídense
thoughts
y
on
nos
the matter.
vemos mañana.
There's
Chao,
a lot
chao.
we're not
Bye
seeing
bye.
yet, but it is spreading
Good
and
night.
quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could